Well, sorry, been late coming in, but that question that you mentioned there threw me as a risk manager kind of person thinking on things of what you were saying, an exchange of equity. Um, you don't you your fiduciary? Do we have fiduciary duties in this when we do agreements?
Depends on the state you're in. So if you're in a licensed state that requires a real estate license and you're representing the seller, then yes, you have a fiduciary duty to your seller, I think in most states. But
Well, that
understand 33 states don't require any kind of license to sell a business. So if you're operating in those states, who knows what kind of duty you have? You're basically a consultant at that point, and I don't know, you'd have to check the state laws for everything. What I can tell you though is if you live in a licensed state or if you are licensed in any licensed state, you are going to be held to a standard that is required by your license in your state, even if you're out of state, even if you're doing deals in a non-licensed state.
well, I come
So,
from the insurance
fiduciary
world too.
duty, yes.
You got to have E&O insurance, and E&O is not going to let you have equitable gains out of it other than your commission. You've got self-interest in it. So if it's your business, then E&O doesn't apply. It's an
Yeah.
exclusion in the E&O policies. I know this because I've been there. So you
Well,
got to
yeah.
be careful.
And I've also had people ask me, I've had agents and brokers ask me about whether they should withdraw from an engagement agreement or a listing agreement if they decide they want to buy the business.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, absolutely. You need to withdraw immediately because if you don't, here's what happens. The seller at some point decides they should have gotten more for the business, hires an attorney. The attorney tells them, "Oh yeah, that broker wanted to buy your business, therefore they probably didn't market it correctly. They didn't take it out to the public in the way that it should have been. They were trying to lowball you to get the better deal, and so they didn't do your job. They didn't do their job. So it's always better anytime there's a conflict of interest, which if you are buying a business you're representing, that is a direct conflict of interest. Absolutely. So get rid of the conflict. You withdraw from the listing. You tell the seller, hey, I think I want to buy your business. So I really need to withdraw from this listing at this point because you need to hire representation that doesn't have a conflict. And I have a conflict at this point because I want to be a buyer. So I can't be the buyer and the broker on the same deal.
Anyway, just wanted to bring that up because the E&O side of things is when you go through the exclusions, you might not have a state law, but you just lost your E&O in that too, which means you're next on the line when you go to court without insurance.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
I bought one of my own listings and I had to withdraw.
Yeah.
It's listed if I'm buying it, right? So I just withdrew it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the smarter thing to do because especially if you are in a litigious state, you gotta bend over backwards to protect, to make sure you don't land in a courtroom. So
is that why you're a lawyer too, Tanya? You're out in California?
yeah,
Okay.
it is. I got burned by an attorney on a transaction that pissed me off, so I went to law school. I was like, okay, that's not going to happen again. So that's why I'm an attorney.
I'm searching for my law school. I'd like to back up and do that while I'm still doing this.
Yep. Well, I did it 100% online. Thank goodness for the internet. Never stepped foot in the classroom. And ended up in no debt either because, a lot of law schools are ridiculously expensive and they don't need to be. I mean, depends on if you want to go work for a big law firm somewhere, then you need to go to, Harvard or, some name law school. But if you're looking for information for yourself, just to empower yourself, and all you want to do is learn and be able to pass the bar, you learn the law and be able to know where to look for things and study for the bar and all that. Yeah, you don't have to get yourself into huge debt in order to do that. It's just not required anymore.